Hi folks, this is 10b from page 553. So they want us to solve this system of equations and then show it geometrically. Okay, so first of all, I see I've got three planes, and I'm going to take a quick look at the normal vectors. Okay, 2, -1, 2, and I look at this one here, that one there, clearly not parallel. Let's check these two here. Clearly these can't be parallel planes. Okay, so in terms of the geometry, I just have three possibilities. I know that I have the possibility that they intersect in a point, that they intersect in a line, or that there's no intersection at all, that they create that triangular prism. So I'll keep that in the back of my head as I answer that last part of the question. But for now, I'll solve. So I'm going to use a matrix here to solve this, and so I really would like that top left corner to have a 1, if at all possible. So I'm going to switch these around and put that one first. So I got 1, -3, 5, and then 4, and then I'll put this one next, 2, -1, 2, and 2, and 3, 1, -1, and 1. Okay, so the whole process here is to start by eliminating the first components of the second and third row. Okay, so I'll use row 1 to do that. So it's going to be -2 R1 plus R2, and I'm going to replace R2 with that, and -3 R1 plus R3, and I'll replace R3 with that. Okay, so row 1's not changing. 1, -3, 5, 4. Okay, and let's do row 2. And again, as you do these calculations, you're doing them in your head. You really should speak them out to help avoid some mistakes here. Okay, so here we have -2 plus 2 is 0, just what we wanted. Here we've got 6 minus 1 is 5. Here we've got -10 plus 2 is -8. And then here we have -8 plus 2 is -6. Okay, so let's do row 3 now. So we got 3 minus, or -3 plus 3 is 0. Okay, here I have 9 plus 1 is 10. Okay, here we have -15 minus 1 is -16. Okay, and then lastly I've got -12 plus 1 is -11. Okay, and right away I see that it looks like these are scalar multiples of each other, but these do not have the same scalar multiple. Okay, but just to show my work here, I'm going to take -2 times R2 and add that to R3, replace R3, and what we end up with here, 1, -3, 5, and 4. Okay, here we have 0, 5, -8, and -6, and now I've got 0. Okay, -10 plus 10 is 0. Here I have 16 minus 16 is 0. But here I've got 12 minus 11 is 1. Okay, so essentially here we have that this is stating that 0 is equal to 1, and that's a contradiction. Okay, so in terms of solving this system of equations, we can say there's no solution. Okay, but they want more than that. They want us to demonstrate this geometrically. Okay, so since none of these planes are parallel, if I think of this geometrically, and there's no solution, the only possibility is the triangular prism here. Okay, where this is a cross section. So here we have our triangular prism cross section. Okay, had I ended up with 0 equals 0, then the only possible one would have been the asterisk where we have an intersection in the line. Okay, so number 1, if you're going to solve this using matrices, try as much as possible to get a leading one on the top left corner. You want to eliminate the x coefficients in the next 2 rows, and then eventually get a 0 in that third spot. In this case here, it led us to the contradiction 0 equals 1, so we knew there was no solution, and based on the scenarios that we studied, this is the only geometric option that we have. Okay, that's it for this one.